The story begins in June 1984, when the struggling Pittsburgh Penguins prepared to make the most important draft pick in their history. The franchise was in deep trouble, facing bankruptcy and possibly relocation. The Civic Arena, nicknamed the Igloo, was often half-empty during games. The team desperately needed more than just a talented player. They needed a savior who could transform the entire organization. In Montreal's working-class neighborhood of Ville-Émard, young Mario Lemieux had already been turning heads for years. Born into a humble family in 1965, Mario learned the game on the local outdoor rinks, where he spent countless hours perfecting his skills. Unlike many other young players who relied on pure speed or strength, Lemieux developed a unique style that combined his natural size with remarkable grace. His father had built a shooting range in their basement, where Mario would practice for hours, developing the precise shot that would later become his trademark. During his teenage years, Lemieux's exceptional talent became impossible to ignore. Playing for the Laval Voisins in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, he shattered records that had stood for decades. In his final junior season, he scored an astounding 282 points in just 70 games, including a 61-game point streak that demonstrated both his consistency and dominance. Scouts called him the most promising prospect since Wayne Gretzky, though his style was distinctly different, more powerful, more dramatic, yet equally effective. The 1984 NHL draft in Montreal brought Mario's journey to its next crucial stage. The Pittsburgh Penguins, having finished last in the league, held the first overall pick. There was no doubt about their choice. Lemieux was the clear selection. However, the relationship between player and team got off to a rocky start when Mario refused to wear the Penguins jersey at the draft, protesting the team's delayed contract negotiations. This early show of determination proved that the quiet teenager had a strong will beneath his reserved exterior. Lemieux's impact on Pittsburgh was immediate and dramatic. In his very first NHL game, he stole the puck from Hall of Fame defenseman Ray Bourque and scored a goal on his first shot during his first shift, a moment that seemed almost scripted in its perfection. This remarkable debut set the tone for his rookie season, where he scored 100 points and won the Calder Trophy as the league's best rookie. The transformation of the Penguins began to take shape during these early years. While the team still struggled to win consistently, Lemieux's presence brought hope and excitement back to Pittsburgh hockey. Attendance began to rise as word spread about the young French-Canadian center who could take over games with his extraordinary skill. His combination of size, speed, and hands had never been seen before in hockey. At 6 feet 4 inches, he moved with the grace of a much smaller player but used his reach and strength to dominate in ways that seemed to defy physics. In these first years, Lemieux established himself not just as a superstar, but as a different kind of hockey player altogether. He could score goals in every possible way. Powerful slap shots, delicate dekes, precise wrist shots, and creative moves that seemed to come from pure imagination. Despite the pressure of playing for a struggling team and carrying the hopes of an entire city, he maintained a quiet dignity and let his play speak for itself. The Pittsburgh sports scene, long dominated by the Steelers and Pirates, began to make room for hockey. Local youth hockey programs grew as more children wanted to be like Mario. The Civic Arena, which had been half empty just years before, started filling up with fans eager to witness the artistic brilliance of their new star. Though the team's overall success was still years away, Lemieux had already accomplished something remarkable. He had made hockey matter in Pittsburgh. Through it all, Lemieux maintained his reserved personality, letting his extraordinary play capture the spotlight rather than his words. He was establishing the foundation for what would become one of hockey's most remarkable careers, though nobody could have predicted the challenges and triumphs that lay ahead. His rise from the outdoor rinks of Montreal to NHL stardom was just the beginning of a journey that would reshape hockey in Pittsburgh and leave an indelible mark on the sport itself. The years between 1984 and 1988 marked Lemieux's emergence as one of hockey's most dominant forces. Despite playing for a Penguins team that struggled to make the playoffs, he produced scoring numbers that seemed impossible. His 168-point season in 1988 broke the grip that Wayne Gretzky had held on the NHL scoring race for nearly a decade. More impressive than the numbers was how he achieved them, with a blend of power and finesse that made even routine plays look extraordinary. The arrival of Jaromir Jagr in 1990 marked the beginning of Pittsburgh's transformation from a one-man show into a true championship contender. The young Czech star's explosive talent perfectly complemented Lemieux's controlled brilliance. Together, they formed what many consider one of hockey's most dynamic duos. The Penguins, after years of building, finally had the supporting cast their superstar deserved. The 1991 Stanley Cup run showcased Lemieux at his absolute peak. He controlled games in a way few players ever have, making the most difficult plays look effortless. The Penguins defeated the Minnesota North Stars in the finals, bringing Pittsburgh its first Stanley Cup. For Lemieux, who had shouldered the weight of the franchise since his arrival, this team's success meant more than any individual award. The following year, they repeated as champions, with Lemieux again leading the way despite playing through significant back pain. Then came the challenge that would define more than just his career. In January 1993, at the height of his powers and in the midst of his best statistical season, Lemieux received devastating news. He had Hodgkin's lymphoma. The diagnosis came during a season where he was on pace to break hockey's single-season scoring records. Rather than giving in, he faced his cancer treatment with the same quiet determination that characterized his play. The radiation treatments were grueling. Some days, he would receive treatment in the morning and play hockey that night. His already lean frame lost weight, and the physical toll was evident. Yet incredibly, even while undergoing radiation therapy, he remained in the NHL scoring race. When he returned to the ice after completing his treatments, the entire hockey world stood in admiration. He had missed 24 games, yet still won the scoring title, one of sport's most remarkable achievements. The 1993 season became more than a story of athletic excellence. It was a testament to human willpower. Lemieux's performance inspired not just hockey fans, but anyone facing serious health challenges. His success despite cancer showed a different kind of strength than the one he displayed on the ice. The quiet superstar had become a symbol of perseverance. Throughout this period, Lemieux maintained his distinctive style of play. While other stars relied on pure speed or aggression, he played the game like a chess master, seeing possibilities others couldn't imagine. His ability to control the pace of play and make split-second decisions set him apart. He could slow the game down or speed it up at will, making every shift a demonstration of hockey genius. The Penguins organization had completely transformed during these years. The team that had once struggled to fill its arena now had a season ticket waiting list. Pittsburgh, traditionally a football city, had embraced hockey with passion. Youth hockey participation in Western Pennsylvania soared as a new generation of players tried to copy Lemieux's moves. Yet even as he reached these heights, health challenges continued to mount. Back problems, which had bothered him for years, grew worse. The physical toll of his playing style, absorbing hits from defenders while protecting the puck with his large frame, began to accumulate. Still, he pressed on, adapting his game when necessary, but never losing the brilliant creativity that made him unique. By the mid-1990s, Mario Lemieux had established himself as more than just a superstar athlete. He had become the heart of Pittsburgh hockey, a symbol of excellence and courage who transcended sports. His battle with cancer while maintaining his elite level of play showed that his greatest strength wasn't his shooting or skating. It was his unwavering determination to overcome any obstacle in his path. The mid-1990s brought Lemieux to a crossroads in his career. Years of physical battles on the ice, combined with his ongoing health challenges, had taken their toll. His back problems became so severe that simple tasks like tying his skates became difficult. In 1997, after years of playing through pain, he made the difficult decision to retire from hockey. At just 31 years old, one of hockey's greatest talents stepped away from the game he had transformed. But Lemieux's connection to hockey, and particularly to Pittsburgh, was far from over. The Penguins franchise, despite his on-ice success, faced serious financial troubles. In 1999, he transformed from player to savior once again, leading a group that bought the bankrupt team. He personally converted years of deferred salary into ownership equity, becoming the first former NHL player to become majority owner of his team. The move saved the Penguins from possible relocation and secured Pittsburgh's hockey future. Then, in December 2000, Lemieux shocked the hockey world. At age 35, after 3.5 years away from the game, he announced his return to the ice. This wasn't just any comeback. He would become the first player owner in modern professional sports. The announcement energized Pittsburgh and captured the imagination of the entire sports world. His return game against the Toronto Maple Leafs proved he hadn't lost his magic. He scored a goal and added 2 assists, showing the same vision and skill that had marked his earlier career. Despite the long layoff, he remained an elite player, demonstrating that true genius doesn't fade. His presence helped guide a young Penguins team and provided fans with more moments of brilliance. The 2005-2006 season brought a unique opportunity. After another NHL lockout, Lemieux found himself playing alongside rookie Sidney Crosby, the most highly touted prospect since himself. The torch-passing symbolism wasn't lost on hockey fans, one generational talent helping to guide the next. Though health issues would ultimately lead to his final retirement that season, Lemieux had ensured that Pittsburgh hockey was in good hands. Under his ownership, the Penguins rebuilt themselves into a powerhouse. The team secured a new arena deal, ensuring long-term stability in Pittsburgh. His influence extended beyond the ice as he established the Mario Lemieux Foundation, which funds cancer research and support for families affected by the disease. The foundation has raised millions of dollars and built Austin's playrooms and hospitals across the region, providing comfort to families during difficult times. Lemieux's impact on hockey continues to resonate. His playing style influenced a generation of players who watched him make the impossible look routine. In Pittsburgh, his legacy extends beyond statistics. He saved hockey in the city twice. First as a player who transformed a struggling franchise into a champion, then as an owner who kept the team from leaving town. His career numbers tell only part of the story: 690 goals, 1,033 assists, 2 Stanley Cups as a player. More remarkable is how he achieved these numbers despite playing just 915 games, losing significant time to health issues. His points per game average remains second only to Wayne Gretzky, and many believe that had he stayed healthy, he might have rewritten the NHL record book. Today, Lemieux's influence on hockey is evident throughout Pittsburgh and beyond. The Penguins have become one of the NHL's model franchises. Youth hockey in Western Pennsylvania has grown exponentially, producing NHL players with increasing regularity. His charitable work continues to make a difference in countless lives, while his story of perseverance inspires people facing their own health challenges. Mario Lemieux's journey from brilliant player to cancer survivor to team savior represents more than just a hockey story. It's a testament to quiet determination, to facing challenges with grace, and to giving back to the community that supported him. He showed that true greatness isn't just about natural talent. It's about the strength to overcome obstacles and the willingness to use one's success to help others. The genius of Mario Lemieux wasn't just in how he played hockey, though that alone would have secured his legend. His true genius lay in his ability to transform adversity into triumph, to turn personal challenges into inspiration for others, and to build a legacy that extends far beyond the rink. As both player and owner, he didn't just change hockey in Pittsburgh. He saved it, shaped it, and set it up for success for generations to come.